Today we're going to take a look at these hinged edging guides to see how they can help you add any type of straight, even edging to some type of fabric, whether that be a hand towel, a tea towel, a washer, a hanky, a hem of a skirt, a pillowcase, t-shirt, anything like that where you're working into fabric. And this can be used for crochet, knitting, or even sewing. Today I'm going to show you how to use them for crocheting. The pack has 4 different guides with 4 different sizes. There's a 1.5 mil, and this is how far apart each stitch is going to be. So there's 1.5, 2 mil, 3 mil, and a 4 mil. And the way they work, I'm going to use the 2 mil so that it's a nice contrast to the colour. And the way they work is you open them up, and you can see it's got these serrated dots here. The edgings, they're quite raised when you run your finger over the top of them. If I put it at an angle here, I don't know if you could actually see how you can see these raised dots, and that's going to help grip into the fabric. So once you've opened it up, you get your edge that you want to put your hem onto, click it up to the top, and then fold this back down. And what you've got is a nice grip that can hold your fabric. It won't move as you try and work into it. Alternatively, you can turn it to go this way, or even for the corners, you've got these nice edges down here. You could also work with this if you wanted it to come deeper into the fabric, is fold it and use the other end like this. So this gives you that little bit more depth, which is great for in the corners because then you've got it evenly spaced for the corner. The guides themselves are also adaptable. See, we've got the top or the bottom, so various thicknesses of fabric, and by moving it to the top, we've got a thicker fabric we can put into it. So any thicknesses will work. So for today, what I'm going to do, just to show you how to use this, I've clipped it onto the edge here, and you can see where we have all of these ridges. This is all 2 millimeters apart. So that means you can guide your hook to go into each of these. It's 2 millimeters. If you wanted it wider, you could do the 4 millimeters, but you could also use the 2, and I'm just going to go into every second one to get the same width. With our 3 millimeters, you've got the guide at the 3 millimeter mark. If you wanted 6, you could jump across to 2 of those again. So you've got quite a bit of options with the different sizes that exist here. If you wanted nearly 4.5 mils, you could jump across 3 of your 1.5 mil sizes. So how does it work? We've got our fabric, we open it up, we slip our fabric up to the edge where we want our edge to go, we close it onto there, clip it closed, and then we just hold it because the serrated edges are gripping that nicely. I'm going to do it every second slot here, so it's going to make them 4 millimeters apart. So holding the edge guide, I'm going to put my hook with the yarn. I'm using a fairly sharp pointed hook here to be able to do a row of double crochets. I'm not starting on the edge because right on the edge there is a little bit awkward going right in that first one, but I've just gone into the second one. So now I'm going to go 2 over, put my hook into where that is, holding the edge guide in place. I can now do another double crochet. There. So I've now got 2 done. I'm going to skip the next 2, go across to here, pull that yarn through and do my double crochet. Going across to the next 2, and because there's also the guide at the back, I'm going through straight. Obviously you've got the raised piece where the hook has to come through, hence it's not against the edge necessarily, but I'm using that to guide my hook with the back. The fabric's not sliding inside the guide, so it's holding it all still. and I'm going to get nice even because I'm going right across the top of the guide. So I've got nice even stitches all the way along. I've come to a certain length that I now need to reset it to get to the rest. I want to make sure I pull that up. Make sure the last stitch is settling into one of the grooves, that it's high enough again, and we continue to proceed. So I'm going to come to the second one, put it through here. So I've now moved it along to begin my next lot of stitches to the edge. The fabric hasn't moved. So once you've worked along, you can see we're getting nice straight edges, evenly spaced stitches to be able to do your next round. We'll move it along to continue to the corner, and we continue to work around the corner. We can move it to the side to be able to work along. Bring it around to the edge. As I mentioned, you can also use this as a guide for sewing. So if I was to sew, say, a blanket stitch around my edge first, I can use this as the guide to where to place my needle with the yarn. So again, if I wanted to go to every second one, I can push that through, and I'm going to get evenly spaced and an even row of stitches. Now when you have finished crocheting your edge, let's just assume I have finished across to the side here, and I want to begin the second row, and I want to take the hinged edging guide off. As you can see, the yarn is caught through the middle. So the easiest way to do that is to turn it up to the side so that the notches inside here are facing the same way as the groove. Pull that slightly, the back piece of it slightly, so that you can pull that top out and separate them. And then you can put them back in the same way. Make sure that the grooves are facing the same way. And it's the same way if you were certain, if you wanted to change across to a different size marker, you didn't want to go to every second, let's do the 4 mil. You can do the same thing, pull it apart and then refix it there. And that's how also you might want to work around the corners if you didn't want to use the outer edge to do your corners. So it's a great guide to be able to have that first row on an edging nice, straight, even and professionally finished.